Hello FlossTube, my name is Sarah. I'm from Memphis and this is my channel about cross stitch. Welcome, welcome. Hope everyone's doing okay today. Today is Thursday, February the 6th, and I'm so happy to be here. It's been since right before Thanksgiving since I did a regular FlossTube. I did give you that big honkin' 3-hour whip parade, impromptu whip parade that, oh my gosh, the technical issues and having to split it in half and all the things. I appreciate everyone who took the time to watch any of that. And especially those of you that went on to part 2. That was awesome of you. If you're new to the channel or you found me through the whip parade, I'm glad you found the channel. And I hope you're back to see what else I'm up to, because I'm always up to something. So I have a lot to go over with y'all. Like I said, I'm very excited to be here today. I've been busy. I've been stitching. I've had a lot going on. I'm going to give you a brief life update, and then we're going to go into the cross stitch. Then we're going to do some needlepoint and talking, and then we're going to do some sewing talking. We've got plans. We have a giveaway that's going to be I'll work on that after my whips, but yeah, so stick around. Let's get busy. Let's see what I've been up to. All right, I did that big whip parade. My family's doing well. So I have one grandson who is about to be 1, who, y'all, I said this in my whip parade. I was hoping one of my grandsons would like dinosaurs, and he is liking the dinosaurs. He's so cute. You know, he's just about to turn 1. So I was playing with him with this little dinosaur the other night, and it's kind of a scary dinosaur. It's plastic. And if you press down on his mouth, he's some sort of like a triceratops variation, and his eyes glow red, and his mouth kind of glows, and his neck kind of glows red, and he goes rawr, and he's just like about this big, right? And so he was scared of him. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Like the eyes are really red. And then I started doing rah rah with him, and now he loves to like go rah with the dinosaur. So anyway, that was good progress. He's about to be 1. He just had his first birthday photo shoot yesterday, and with his little smash cake and everything. He is so cute. My other grandson, Brooks, he's my 2-year-old. He goes to Mother's Day out a couple days a week, and he's going through potty training. And y'all, I wish we would have had this. This is not going to be TMI, so don't tune out. But they have like it's basically like think of an Apple Watch. It's not an Apple Watch, but they have a little watch, and he wears this little watch. Has like cute little baby sharks on the wristband, and you can set it to like go off at whatever time increments you think you need to. So his goes off like every 30 minutes. It plays Wheels on the Bus, and he knows every 30 minutes. Oh, he clicks his watch, he shuts it off. He knows whether do you need to go potty? No. Well, at first, you know, he was trying all the time, but then he just resets it for another 30 minutes. It's it's amazing. My son would have thrived with that for potty training. So some of the new stuff they've come out with is really cool. Let's see, what else have I been up to? Yeah, I've been stitching, I've been working. My husband went out of town for a little bit, and I got a ton of like organizing done after I filmed that whip parade. I don't remember if I did it before or after I filmed the whip parade, but do you remember me telling you, or maybe I didn't tell you, that one of my goals was to get all of my FFO items into this dresser that I had waiting on them, because all of my FFO was kind of a bunch of stuff was in a cube. A bunch of stuff was I had them labeled like in these clear tubs, you know, like by category or whatever, but I had them all stacked up out in the garage. And so if I wanted to FFO something, I had to go out to the garage, pull in all these tubs, do all the things. So I set up this dresser, and I'll put some pictures up of a couple of the drawers if I can remember to do that here, so you can kind of see how I kind of just laid everything out. And I FFO'd my first item last night. Since I did that organization, it was fantastic. I was able to, my stitchy room's not really set up to where I don't have a big workspace in here to where I can just like basically really craft. So I do still take it out of this room, but it was able for me, I was just able to like, it was like I was at the store. It was great. It was great. So let's see. So that went well. I have to have some big finishes. I don't have them with me because I have some, But I did finish Sir Thomas right before the end of the year. If you follow me on Instagram, which I'm going to put my Instagram up here, please do follow me on Instagram. That is where I post my most frequent updates. I try to really post in there. If I don't post every day, like I'm probably every other day, and sometimes it's a story, sometimes I post on my grid, whatever, a reel, whatever. It's just, I do try to just kind of let y'all know what I'm working on or what I'm up to. And so I did post Sir Thomas on there. I did finish him before the end of the year. He is at the Framers. He is fantastic. I'm absolutely obsessed. He's gorgeous. If you ever think about taking on stitching him, just go for it. He's gonna reward me the rest of my life to be able to look at him framed on the wall. Like, that's how fantastic he is. And so he's the framer. I had another finish maybe a couple weeks ago, a Nora Corbett that I started last year during, like, on a snow day or whatever. It's called Winter Nest. It's on my Instagram as well. It's beautiful. I sent that to the Framers. So I took a few things over to the Framers. My big happy haunts is at the Framers. So hopefully next time I come see you, I'll have my stuff back from the Framers and I get to show you all that goodness. However, I do have a few FFOs here that I finished that I'm going to show you today. I have some finishes. I have some starts. I have WIPS. Oh, I have like plans for the year that I haven't even filled you in on yet. Some of them are going okay. Some of them are not materializing yet, but I have a, a basic construct of what I'm going to be doing. So yeah, let's just start with that. I wanted to say before I hopped right into this, I was kind of thinking about, there's just a lot going on right now, it's a lot. There's a lot of heaviness going on. There's a lot of just stuff. I just wanted to put out there that I hope that you can find comfort or relaxation, or if you're having anxiety, a way to de-stress some. I hope that your stitching can offer you that. I have found it, I knew it was comforting to me. When stressful things happened, I knew that, but I have been leaning on that, recently. And I just want to say to make sure that, you take care of yourself and you take care of your mental health and you take care of your family. And, yeah, just make sure to cut out time for yourself in the midst of everything. Okay, I did not mean to go off on that tangent. So let's just get back to stitching. And I just wanted to say that I'm thinking about you. I hope that if you need to talk to somebody, you talk to somebody. If you need to take some time to yourself and stitch, then you need to stitch. And I just hope that we can just all treat each other the way we'd like to be treated. Okay, so back to stitching. I have some FFOs. Okay. So this one, I went out of town this weekend, and I guess I could tell you about, I'm really, really sorry all over the place. I did not mean to go off on that tangent. Back up. Plans. One, I'm just going to let you in since it's going to affect this right now. One of the plans that I made for this year is, if you know me or you have history with me, you know that I try WIPGO every year, and I bomb. Big fat F. In fact, last year was my WIPGO walk of shame, and I just didn't make it very far. But this year, I'm gonna try something new. I was inspired by my friend Bernadette of Burn Stitches. She's having, like, I can't remember exactly how she's doing hers, but she's doing, I think she might be doing smaller starts. I think that's what she's doing for her WIPGO. That's what I'm gonna do too. I have a tendency to start really big projects. I love them so much. I feel like when I'm stitching the smaller things, because I know they're smaller and I know I can attain a finish within a reasonably quick amount of time, I kind of just like speed stitch them. And I don't necessarily enjoy them as much. I enjoy the finished product, but I don't necessarily enjoy it like I enjoy a big project that I know I'm going to be working on for a long time. And somehow that just relieves some of the pressure, And so, but there's so many smaller things that I want to stitch that I've actually had pulled out in a basket, for those times I was looking for something to work on, for like over a year. And so I made my WIPGO board up of smalls. I don't have an exact definition of a small. If it feels small to me, then it's a small. It's not a big project. That's just the way I'm just, you know, categorizing them. So for January, I had 2 projects picked, and I'll show you those in a little bit. And then for February, I have 2 projects picked, obviously. And one of those projects was the Boo Mini Bag by Shepherd's Bush. I picked this up from YouTiful Sip Stitchery when I visited that wonderful shop this past July up in Illinois when I went to visit my mom. Yeah, isn't it so cute? So I picked it up. Britt had everything we needed there. She had the bag, she had the pearl cotton, she had the button embellishment pack, and I stitched it on Saturday. So this was a start and finish for me on Saturday. So that was one of my Whip Go pulls for the month of February. Didn't it turn out cute? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get it in there really close. So this was stitched with some pearl cotton. If you aren't familiar with pearl cotton, it was the number 5 pearl cotton. Sorry, I'm not holding that very well. It's just, it's like a twisted, it's not like your regular plied DMC. You don't split it, you just stitch it with one. It's just thicker. And I used these little buttons. They were from, I think they're Jabco, just another button company. It was a little button pack. So here's the thing about this. This was fun to stitch. It wasn't hard. I can see if you aren't used to stitching with these, they are easy to stitch with. You need a larger needle, of course. Like, I don't remember if I used a 20 or a 22. Probably I used a 22, at least a 22 needle. And yeah, so what you have to do on these, there's a trick to it. First of all, you have to stitch your pattern. When you're stitching your pattern, you're going to be looking at it upside down. Whoops, I don't think you can do anything with that. But you are actually reading your pattern upside down, because when you're stitching, you know, it only opens on one side. So you're stitching this upside down. So what I did to start, and I don't know if this is what you're supposed to do, but I basically just folded my bag into quarters to find the middle. And that was my middle start. And then I just kind of eyeballed it and I'm like, yeah, does that look okay? Yeah. So I found the middle, and I found the middle on my chart, and I just got started. It was interesting stitching upside down, reading the chart upside down, and then the way you have to stitch like in here and out. It wasn't impossible. I wouldn't want to stitch like that every day, I guess is what I'm getting at. I'm a two-handed stitcher. I wouldn't really want to stitch like this every day, but to do a fun project like this, it was fun. The colors are great. So on the chart, it was kind of interesting. So I stitched everything, and on the chart, the pumpkin is not filled in. It's just like an outline, just like this O, and it's got the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, but the orange part is not filled in. However, on the front of the chart, I noticed that it was. So what I decided to do was I would leave it not filled in, and then when I got done, I would look at it, and I would decide if I wanted to fill it in or not. And I decided I wanted to fill it in. So I think it turned out cute. You can do it either way. I will say on these, one thing you have to be careful about, particularly like when you're doing, say if you have stitching like the vine or your spider web and legs or the tree, you have to be kind of ticky about where you run the back of your thread over, because obviously this is see-through. So if you're carrying everywhere and it's not solid, then you know you would be able to see your thread. So that was a little bit more intentional stitching, right? And yeah, so it was fun. I've seen where people, or I've heard that people do sometimes make a little lining for the inside of these. I think that would be cute. I'm looking at the inside of it now. This is a pretty thick, sturdy pearl cotton. I don't necessarily know that I would have many areas where I would worry about something snagging on the inside of it, but I can see maybe one area right now when I'm looking at that would concern me. So if I was going to use this for something that I thought might snag it, I would probably make a lining for it too. Just putting it out there. The buttons were a little challenging to get on there. I think I ended up okay with them where they were. It's kind of interesting to be holding this upside down, reading your chart, trying to put this button on there, and trying to make sure you're going through like a hole that's not like your normal fabric. You do have to get, if you have one of these charts, It does not come with regular DMC to put the buttons on. The holes are not big enough to use the pearl cottons, okay? So you will have to go into your stash or go to the store and just try to match the colors of the buttons with the DMC that you already have or whatever you pick up. Luckily, I had some other projects with me and I was able to find a purple, a green, and a yellow that worked. And I was able to attach the buttons. So, but yeah, that's cute, isn't it? Boo Mini Bag by Shepherd's Bush. I really like, there's a new one that just came out. It's Burr for the winter. That one's really cute. And I do have one more to do, a bigger one, because they make the mini bags and then they have the big bags. And I have a big bag, a Christmas bag, Joy. So, yeah, I'll be working on that probably pretty soon, because now I know it's fun. Like I said, I wouldn't want to do it every day, but I would do it again. I would make it again. So that's really, really cute. I enjoy doing that. My other FFO that I have to show you, I just FFO'd it last night. So I finished the Botanical Bee by Hands On Designs for my friend Zan's birthday in May. There we are. This is stitched on the called for fabric, which is a 32 count Juniper by Fabrics by Stephanie. I used all of the called for floss. And then last night I made it into an ornament and I think it turned out really cute. Yeah, so I haven't done an FFO in a while, and that's what I started working on last night. And I really enjoyed being able to just go over to my cupboard, my dresser, and get everything I needed out. But let's talk about the things I used to do this. So one thing that made this one of the easiest ornament finishes I have done to date for a round is that I purchased shortly after I bought several of these at market or around market last year. Oh gosh, where to go? I purchased these from Kathy Haberman's Hands On Design website, finishing rounds. Okay, so they're basically like a mat board that are already cut in specific round sizes, and they have nice clean edges, and there's no wonky, it's a circle, right? And I know some of you have crickets and all sorts of fancy ways to make a nice circle, but my circles would always be kind of like a circle, but kind of like maybe a little square part here where I couldn't get my scissor around there just exactly. So I bought these from Kathy's website. I also have purchased some other ones from Fat Quarter Shop. They have different sizes too. And so they just come in a pack of whatever. I think Kathy's come in a pack of 4 and they come in all different sizes. This is the size I needed for this series. They're 4 3/8 laser cut round mat boards. So they made my finishing a snap, okay? Like that's one of the hardest parts for me. And so this is kind of the cookie style ornament. I used some fabric that I had. And for the top piece, I did use some batting. I used 2 pieces of the Warm and Natural batting to just kind of give it some little oomph. Little shape right there. You can kind of see the profile. I did not use it on the back. I don't necessarily, it's okay. Sometimes I've done them before with the batting on the back. I just didn't want to do it this time. I had some ribbon that I thought looked good with it. And so I just kind of did that. I purchased this bead for my LNS Stitchers. It's a Jabco bead. And every one of these little rounds that Kathy's done a design for, she has a little bead, so I need to get those for a couple of the other ones that I have. But the exciting thing to me about this was I did my first custom cording using the Krynic custom quarter and a tutorial by Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher on YouTube. Super easy tutorial. I was able to make some custom, color match DMC cording. I just picked a dark and a light, to be honest. I just didn't want anything that clashed with my ribbon. And those are colors that are in the chart. And I think it turned out really cute. And this quarter, I don't know. With all things Krynic, it might be hard to get your hands on now. I'm not sure. I had ordered mine on 1, 2, 3 Stitch quite some time ago. Actually, I put in an order at one point and I wasn't able to get it. You can still make cording without one of these. I mean, people use drills and and mixers and just their hands, and you name it, you can do it. There's also another type of quarter. It's called Lacey's quarter, Lacis. I'm not super familiar with it, but needle pointers use it for finishing is what I'm finding, because that's who I hear talking about it. But this is the Crynit custom quarter, and if you can find it, it worked great for me last night. Yeah, but I think this turned out super, super cute. I'm super happy with it. I'm so happy with these. It made my life so much easier being a little bit of a perfectionist. You know, sometimes that little offness just really bothers me. So I love it. I love it. It's so happy and springy. Those are my two FFOs. Okay. Now let's talk about my finishes. So I have some finishes since the last time I've seen you in Thanksgiving time, November. I have finished Sir Thomas. I finished Winter Nest. I finished an ornament for my grandson, Rhodes, his first Christmas ornament. It is not FFO'd yet. Nobody's ornaments are FFO'd yet, unfortunately. But here we are. It says My First Christmas. This is a Lizzie Kate chart. I think it's just called My First Christmas. I'll put it up here what the name of it is. Lizzie Kate, you know, you can only buy Lizzie Kate stuff on 123 Stitch now from like a distributor. Otherwise, everything else is what leftover stock and LNS might have, or secondhand or whatever. But I made this same ornament for my grandson Brooks. However, when I stitched it, I did something different, and it wasn't heart-shaped. So Brooks's is not heart-shaped, Rhodes's is. It is on the same fabric, and I actually had all the same floss from Brooks's. So this is Peppermint Stripe by Fabric Flair. I do not know if they carry it anymore. I hope they do, because I love it for Christmas stuff. I've stitched several things on this fabric. I've never finished a heart-shaped ornament before, so this is going to be interesting. I'm hoping that there's some tutorials out there to help walk me through that. But there's that. So I had that finish, and then I had another finish, not seasonal at all. I finished this Ghost Pumpkin by Lottie Da. This is an exclusive from the GaRon Stitchery Stitching in the Wild retreat this past fall. Ghost Pumpkin by Lottie Da. I started this with my dear friend and table mate, Elisa of Cross by Floss. And there we are. I started right up here at the retreat, and first thing I did was put that date in there. So I committed myself like from the get-go that this had to be done last year. I actually bought the fabric for it at the retreat. This is a piece of 36 count Colonial Parchment by Fabrics by Stephanie. And Gary and Ronnie, they had some DMC thread packs made up to go with this chart at the retreat. So I got busy at the retreat and got it done. That pumpkin is a lot of fill-in. I didn't really think I was ever going to get him all filled in, but I think it's cute. I do not know how I'm going to FFO this one yet, but I am super happy that I was frugal with my fabric, because I have a large piece of the Colonial Parchment to do other things on. So I'm excited about that. Lisa, I think, has been able to work on hers some as well. Super cute pattern. I don't know if or when it's going to be released to the public, but you can always reach out to Gary or Ronnie and ask them. I don't know if they have any on their website anymore either. All right, so I think my only other finish, this was kind of a thing too. All right, so my friend Leanne of Forbidden Fiber Co., she had a box that came out. And you all know, well, you may not know, I was buying lots of boxes. And I mean, for the last several years, I've just pretty much been on like no boxes, okay? Just not doing it. I mean, they're great, fun, all the things, but like I was really wanting to buy all the boxes. So I just kind of cut myself off. I could not resist this box though. This was like in tandem with her Advent stuff that came out. And the idea was that we got the box like around Christmas. And we were supposed to start the pattern on Boxing Day. And then for like the next following 12 days, we would stitch it. So I got busy. And I just kind of forgot I had this box. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Like, there was a lot going on. And then I was in here messing around my stitchy room, which had turned into this mess, right? And as I was digging stuff out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have this box from Leanne that I was so excited about. Can you believe I did that? I couldn't believe I did that. So it is Hobbit themed, and it came in this with this fantastic bag. I love it so much. I love it. I love it. And in the bag, we got the chart, which was in black or white, which my chart has seen better days because you know, sometimes you're just rough on stuff. I was just rough on it. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of banged up. My chart is, but so we got a chart that's in black and white. And then every day we had a little envelope to open with a number on it. So like day 1, we opened day 1, you know, day 6, we opened day 6. Okay. And this little sticker on it represents the dragon in the book and the Lonely Mountain. And it's very cool. There's a lot of cool touches like this to this. And so each floss was named from something in the books or / movie. I think they followed the movie more, but, you know, so each floss every day, and you did like 1 color a day. Like this one's called Out of the Frying Pan. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful colors. So basically you did like 1 color a day. I did that. I did pretty good. I got a little bit messed up and mixed myself up and missed a color, jumped colors one day. But I also posted about it every day on my story. And it was pretty fun because every day on my story, I'd be like, day whatever, and this is the name of the floss. And then I got to choose the song from like the list of songs from the soundtrack from the movie that went along with the floss or whatever was happening in the movie at that time. That was a geeky, nerdy, fun part that I enjoyed. So what I did when I was done is I do have a highlight reel that says Hobbitses. So if you just want to look through that, you'll be able to see my progress like by day. I also made a reel of them all smashed together at the end. So I'd be able to say that because fingers crossed, there are 3 movies in this series. So I would love to see another box next Christmas. I will show you a few of the fun things that came in the box, but let me just show you my finish. So here we are. I could have started in the middle, but now I have a little extra fabric if I want to use it for an ornament or something. This is pretty fabric. This is a it's 36 count. That's why it's so small. It's 36 count, and the name of the fabric is Burglar, which made me laugh because if you know the movie, then that makes sense to you. But yeah, I started off with the yellow, and yeah, it was really, really fun. I had a good time. I'm going on an adventure. Yeah. So I started my adventure way later than everybody else. Other people, I'm sure, had it all done and stitched. I don't know how I'm going to FFO this yet. I'm just going to kind of hold on to it and see if we get a whole series situation out of this, because then maybe I want to do something with them together. So in the box, we got fabric, all of the floss, a pattern, cute bag with the zipper pull. What's it got on it? Oh yeah, it's got an eagle on it because there are golden eagles in this first installment. And then we got a water bottle, and we got a bunch of stickers. So I just went on and put my stickers on the water bottle. So it was kind of cool because we got a water bottle that, I guess because this is if you go on an adventure, you need a water bottle, right? And it has 2 different tops to it. And then we got, oh yeah, we got a little candle called the Shire. Smells really good. Really. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I'm not showing it to you upside down. Oh, I was. Yeah. Cool, huh? It smells really good. And then we got a bookmark with a quote on it of a Hobbit hole. Yep. And some original grass-fed beef jerky for our adventure. So that was fun. I don't think there was anything else in there. I mean, sometimes I take stuff out and do stuff with it. So if I miss something, I'm sorry. Oh, yes, there's a needle minder, but it's in there on my Lowry stand. It's super cute. It's of Bilbo's door, his little Hobbit hole door. And if you look at my Instagram or want to check any of that out, you'll see that needle minder on every post because I used it to hold my floss up there. But anyway, this was great. Leanne does a great job with the Advent boxes and her themed things. They're super fun. She always has something new coming out. I'm super excited. If you are a fourth flame, Fourth Wing, a Fourth Wing, or the Empyrean series fan by Rebecca Yaros. Leanne's got a whole yarn series out inspired by it, and she's working on cross stitch stuff. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm super excited about that. So always highly recommend her stuff. All right, I think that's all of my finishes as far as cross stitch goes. I do have a needlepoint finish and a sewing finish, and I'll show those down at the end. Let's talk about starts. I had some new starts in the midst of all of that as well. So one of the starts, I'm super excited about this. I'm behind. I don't know if this would be a good time to tell you what my plans are for the year. Maybe just a little bit before I hop into my starts. Okay, so I was really just taking in what everybody had for their plans for the year. And I've used the Book of Days. This will be, I think, my third or fourth year, whatever they started doing Book of Days is when I started using it. So I have a Book of Days, and I was thinking about how I want to set it up. I usually am very basic. I just write what I've stitched that day on it. On the side column, I have, well, I'll just show you what January looks like. I marked down my starts. I make a spot for my finishes. I write my WIP go numbers down here. And then I have my stickers. I knew that was going to happen. That was my iPad. Sorry. Hold on just a second. Sliding off everywhere. Got too much stuff up here. Too excited about everything. Sorry. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you about something else too. Okay. Back to the Book of Days. All right. So yes, and so I basically just write every day what I stitched on. But this year I was trying to be, what was I gonna do, right? Because everybody has these grand plans, and I like to make grand plans too. You know, I really do. But I know that there were some things I need to focus on this year. It's gonna be another one of those focusy years. Like I said in my WIP parade, I didn't stitch as freely last year as I like to. I was much more focused, and I had some big goals to get accomplished. And sometimes that did squelch my stitchy bug a little bit. So I have to remember this year that when I'm feeling that way, instead of just not stitching that day, just stitch on something I want to do, because then I won't stitch at all. Because I was telling myself, well, I really can't do that because I need to be working on this. And then I would put off stitching. That was what was happening sometimes. I don't want to do that because I enjoy my stitching every day. So I sat down though, and I do have 4 big main projects that I want to get finished this year. So this is one of them. All right. I'll just tell you the ones they are is I'm hosting with my friends Zan and Leanne, a sleigh ride stitch along by Praiseworthy Stitches. We started that in December. And then I have a birthday start, which was Queen of Peace by Mirabilia. It is a borrowed, out of print, highly sought after chart that I want to have finished in a timely manner. So that needs to be a focus of mine. I joined the Chatelaine Water Garden Stitch Along, where hosted by my friends Amy, Fiber Arts Amy, and Maggie of Kitschy WIPS. And they assign a section every month, and that's what you work on, and that should have us get finished up in the year. So that was a Chatelaine Stitch Along. And the other thing that I had, hold on just a minute, I'm gonna remember. Oh yes, I had a stocking for Rhodes to do. Okay, so those are 4 things, usually 4 weeks in a month. So I'm doing every week one of those things is my main focus of the week. Okay, I've put that in my book. And then feathered in amongst that, I have my 2 WIP Go smalls for every month. I have my Precipitation Stitch Christmas Mousse on the 13th, the 31st, and whenever there's any kind of a Zoom about it, I want to work on my Halloween at Hawkhorn Hollow. On Mondays is Mira Monday. And I was just saying, okay, every Monday then I'm going to work on Queen of Peace. However, I was chatting with Allie of Allie Z is Crafty, who's back to FlossTube. Welcome back, Allie. And she said, why don't we just try to get our Mira Mermaids done on Mondays? Because I said I wanted to get Mermaid of the Pearls done this year. And she has Lilith of Labrador to get done. So just this past Monday, I started doing that. Mondays, I worked a little bit on Mermaid of the Pearls. So that's happening on Mondays. On Tuesdays, you know, once it's spring, I'll be starting back to my Leela Studios, the Quakers that I like to do, the spring, fall, summer, and hopefully we'll get winter at some point, next winter, hopefully. But right now on Tuesdays, I'm using that slot where I'm trying to get some, I don't think I pulled that whip out either, touches on the Eggs All Around by Glendon Place. And I need to see where I have that. I can't remember what bag I have that in, y'all. Where is that darn thing? Well, I did put some work into that. I have to think about that. I may not be able to show it this time because I don't have it pulled out. I don't really know where it is. It's back in here somewhere. Sorry. So on Tuesdays, I'm trying to work on eggs. And then what else do I have to do? Oh, so when I broke down my whip parade by oldest whips, like everything in 2020, everything in 2021 that I still have to work on, it allowed me to see like, okay, what's my oldest whip in 2020? Well, my very oldest whip in 2020 is my Heaven and Earth Designs, and I'm not doing that. But my second oldest whip I am doing, and so I'm trying to devote 30 minutes every morning to that one. And that one has gotten some real progress on it. So I'm just gonna keep going. When that one finishes, maybe I'll do the next oldest one until that one's done. That's probably what I'm going to use my 30 minutes in the morning to stitch on. So I'll be showing you that soon. What else is my plans? I Zoom with my Labyrinth friends every month. Sometimes we mostly talk, so I don't get a lot of progress on that. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So that's kind of the thing. So anything else that I want to do, I'm feathering in around or making space for around that main focus piece of the week. Now I'm hoping it doesn't take me all year to do these main focus pieces, right? And so I can get some other stitching in, because next year I just don't want to be this focused. I don't want to have that many. I maybe have like 2 big ones to work on a month or something like that. Maybe not 4, but it's okay. It's okay because I want to get some of these done. So it'll be great. It's rewarding when they're done, right? So yeah. So this was January. You know, I did pretty good. Filled in my little thing, and then February. I'm already working on February. So yeah, I just have to remember to look at it because it tells me, like, I wrote on here, like, oh, this is what I'm working on this week. And this is what, you know, this is when I have a Zoom, and this is my Mirror Monday, and this is my, oh, the other one that I'm working on. So I joined Melanie Rose Leap Year Mirabilia Sal last year. So I started that one on Leap Day, and, or it's a Leap Day Sal, whatever. And so I didn't work on it at all last year. And so we want to have it done by the next leap day, leap day. What do you, so basically like 28, the last few days of the month, every month, I'm working on that. So I did that this month too. Okay. All that to say, let me show you my starts because yay, this is part of my plans, right? So my first start in December was Sleigh Ride by Praiseworthy Stitches. I am so excited about this one. This is that big one that I'm doing with Zan and Leanne and some stitchers here in Memphis and stitchers all over the place. Stitchy Linda and Chrissy down in Florida, and yeah, everybody that has been posting on Instagram and using the hashtag. I really appreciate it. It's super fun to see your progress. Some of y'all are just whipping along. So here it is, Praiseworthy Stitches, Sleigh Ride. This is the chart that Leanne and Zan and I, we fell in love with this chart in person at Market last year. Leanne did the honors of cutting this up into like 12 little pieces, so that we could have this done in a year. And I will post that up here. I don't know if you'll be able to see my squiggly lines, but if you're interested in joining us, you can obviously hop in at any time. I would love for you to use the hashtag SleighRideSal2025 hashtag. Even though we can't follow hashtags anymore, we can still search and find them. And that's how I've been finding people's progress. If you would like to tag me in your progress, I would love to be able to be notified that way as well. So if you want to join us, please join us. We are stitching ours on a piece of fabric dyed by Leanne. The called for is Nocturne by Picture This Plus. We are doing a piece of Leanne's Silent Night. 36 count is what I'm using. So up until this H, basically, that was part 1. So that was December. This is January and we're already into February, so you can see I'm running behind. Okay, yikes, I got a lot of catching up to do. However, this is, it's interesting to stitch. This is a very, very heavy area of white. Like, these are really stitch area sections. This second section just runs all the way along the bottom. Now, because I'm using 36 count fabric, I want to make sure I'm getting, and I'm using 1 strand of floss, I wanted to make sure I was going to get really good coverage with this white. So I chose a DMC Floss, DMC B5200, and you only have to use 1 strand of it. They say it's equivalent to 2 strands of DMC. I'm leaning towards more what I believe the general consensus among a lot of stitchers is that it's more like 1.5 is what it feels like, at least with the white. But I like the coverage. It's going well. It's going well. It's a lot of counting, and I am doing all of my white first, A, because it's white, B, because I don't want to snag it on all of the metallics when I'm stitching it and just get it all fuzzy and furry. So that's taking a little bit longer. This lamppost was an absolute joy to stitch. I adored it. Do you see how cute with the back stitch? I hope it's like focusing okay. It's really, really cute. What was not fun to stitch was the green in Sleigh. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute. The materials that are, first of all, let's talk about the fact that it looks fantastic. Okay, in real life, when you look at that green, it's gorgeous. Okay, undeniably, all right. However, to stitch that green, it is called for is a Kreinik blending filament. So a blending filament is different than maybe what a lot of people are used to thinking about Kreinik as, which is kind of more like a metallic braid. Blending filament, as you can see, is much thinner because it's a blending. It's not really meant to stand alone. It's more like Christmas tree tinsel, okay? So you take a strand of this and you take a strand of your, I think it's cucumber or something that we're using. I can't remember. It's one of the greens that's called for, okay? So you take a strand of that with a strand of this and you stitch the green. Now, doesn't sound terribly hard, but it's pretty much a whirl pain. This blending filament, it likes to do, see how that's kind of splitting and fraying. So you have a limited length that you can work with. It took me hours to stitch the word sleigh. I'm not a slow stitcher. I'm not a Speedy Gonzalez, you know, like from the cartoon, but I am average. You know, I'm not slow. I'm not super fast. Hours, okay? Now, the red is the same deal. The red is a blending filament and a red overdyed, okay? I did not have a hard time stitching the red. I suspect it's because it's all in like a straight line, you know, not all of this. Maybe that was the thing. Here's my advice to you. Number one, if you haven't bought your materials yet and you're having a hard time sourcing your Kreinik, I think you're lucky, okay? Because you haven't done any work with this Kreinik yet. And so you have the opportunity to make a substitution, which is what I wish I had done. Okay, so a good substitution for Sleigh or for the green and the red, I would recommend, because of the way it's charted with a blending filament and a cotton, I think a petite silk lame would look really nice. It would give you the same effect because it is a silk blended with a piece of metallic. Or equally as beautiful, you could find a petite treasure braid. That's pure metallic, or you could find something called a petite entice. All of those would work really, really well. Those are all sold by Rainbow Gallery. Rainbow Gallery bought Kreinik, and they're having some production issues. So this may be why you're having a hard time getting your hands on a Kreinik. So if you don't have the Kreinik, I would not stress about it. If I were you, and I could go back and have a do-over, I would go for one of those other options and just find a red and a green that you like. That's just my personal opinion after having slogged through Sleigh, okay? Because I'm not excited about finishing with that. Like, it's just going to take a long time. Probably why I haven't made as much progress on it. My other thing about this that I did was, I don't think it was a slub. I can't remember what happened, but can you see, like, on the H, there's like a bump. There's like a lumpy stitch. I might have had a knot or something weird and tried to go over it. I can't remember what I did, but I do know now that I'm not going to be able to tolerate that at the end of the day. That's something that's going to bother me and stick out at me. And so I'm going to have to do a little surgery down here when I get back to it, and probably just do a little snipping and pulling out and restitching an area. Yeah, because I'm not going to, it shows up in pictures. My eyes immediately drawn to it every time I look at it. So I'm not going to be able to tolerate that little bump in the middle of the H. I'm just not going to be able to. So part 2 should have been finished in January. And then I haven't really paid much attention to part 3 yet, but when I was talking to Leanne the other day, she said it was lighter stitching. So fingers crossed for that. So I'm going to be working on this pretty soon. I meant to work on it when I went out of town this weekend, but I left the white floss. Somehow it got in the wrong project bag. Can you imagine that? So I had everything except the floss that I needed to work on it. So I didn't get to work on it. Anyway, that's fun though, and I wish you would join us if you're interested. And yeah, so let's see what's next that I had. Some more starts. Okay, so you haven't officially, you saw it at my WIP parade, but if you didn't watch the WIP parade, you haven't officially seen my birthday start, which was Queen of Peace by Mirabilia. I'm going to put a picture of her right here. She does not live in my project bag because she is an out of print, precious out of print that I borrowed, so I do not need her getting bent. But she lives in this beautiful Princess and the Frog project bag that my sister-in-law Rivertown Designs US made for me. And I'm stitching her on a piece of, I think it's 32 count Lugana by Oak Crown Studios, and that is by my friend Fiber Arts Amy. She is a chemist and she dyes beautiful fabrics. It just so happens that she named this particular color after our friend Lisa Cross by Floss, so I love that. Okay, let me just go to this. When I was trying to find fabric for this, I was super stressed out, and I went down this really weird rabbit hole, and I even talked to y'all about it. And I'm going to start off by apologizing if I confuse the heck out of anybody from that FlossTube. I forgot. So I was talking about, like, I was trying to find fabric for this, and then I was measuring my fabrics, and why were they shorter than the other, and why weren't they like a fat quarter? First of all, I was doing that with a mix of fabrics. So hand-dyed fabrics are different than like your Zweigart ordered. Like they're just, hand-dyed fabrics are a different beast, okay? Hand-dyed fabrics have a tendency by most dyers, if not all of them, to shrink in the dyeing process, okay? That is an industry known situation. And I thank you to the FlossTube viewer that reminded me of that by your comment, because I was like, as soon as I read your comment, I was like, I remember that. And I reached out to Leanne, who's a dyer, and just confirmed with her. So that is a known issue. So like, say it's when they cut the fabric or whatever, they're selling you a fat quarter and they tell you what the measurements are, and they measure it that way, and then they dye it, and then it shrinks a little bit. Okay, so think about it like this. When it shrinks, it may not be the same measurement, but it still has the same amount of holes, right? So you're not going to run out of the fabric. Like I was like, whoa, I could have run out of fabric, and I was freaking myself out. Like I said, I just went down this whole rabbit hole, and then I was like, but I never have run out of fabric, and I don't always obsess about this. So what's the deal? Here's what's the deal is, I just wasn't thinking clearly, and I was trying to start this in a hurry, and I was comparing hand-dyed to Zweigart, you know, stock fabric, and anyway, I just made a mess of myself. So if I confused you by any way, shape, or form about the fabric, I sincerely apologize. My memory it's back intact. I know what's up, and I was just having a panicky kind of day. So don't worry about that. Like, hand-dyed fabrics shrink. They shrink sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you lose the hole. That just means that your holes are tighter. Have you ever heard people talk about, like, picture this plus, maybe being tighter. Some fabric dyes, that's just a common known thing. So yeah, you might have somebody who stitches on 40 count every day, but they're like, well, if I'm gonna buy from this dyer, I would rather stitch on a 36 count because it might be too tight on a 40 for them, you know? So you've probably heard that conversation before, maybe. But anyway, again, I apologize if I confused you. It's nothing for you to stress out about. It's just like accepted industry-wide, the hand-dyed fabric shrink, you don't lose the holes, things just might be a tighter stitch, okay? All right, so here we are, back to this. So I've had some drama with that fabric, starting with that whole little saga that I just told you about, and then I started this while we were in Disney, because on my birthday, and I got really sick. I got strep throat really, really bad. I thought I had the flu, like I missed half the vacation. I was in the bed. Somehow, in the midst of all of that, I think it was a Dr. Pepper, spilled on the side of my bag and soaked through and got on my fabric. So when I brought this out to stitch on it, must have been in January, I was like, oh my gosh, there's like a big soda stain on the corner of my fabric. So luckily, I do know that Amy, being a chemist, her fabric is color fast, okay? And in particular, Lugana doesn't take dye like linen does, so it's always a little bit, usually a little bit like lighter, and so I just wasn't worried about there being a problem with me losing my color. I was just worried, was I going to be able to get that Dr. Pepper stain out of there? I'll be honest with you, I ended up using some Dawn power wash and some cold water and rinsing, and it came out. So I just hung it over a back of a chair to dry, and my stitches were fine and everything was okay. So I don't have a ton done on this. I have neglected her already, but she is a long-term this year goal. So that's where I am. Yeah, she's beautiful. She has pretty beads and all of the things, and I'm excited about working on her. All right, next start. Oh, this was fun. So had a new start for the first full moon of 2025 with my full moon stitching friends. And what I chose to start was a chart that I had in my stash, Christmas mini moon. Isn't that so cute? I love it. I just love it. Yep. And I started it on a piece of 40 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. I was able to stitch that I was able to get this up from stash because this is one of my fabric of the months, Fox and Rabbit fabric of the months. Just got a little start on it there. I love the shape of these trees. How cute and funky are they? Do you see? Yeah, this is cute. This is a really cute one. I'm excited to be working on this. So hopefully we've been trying to get our full moon act together. We've been trying, but I'm excited about this. It's living in this super cute bag made for me by my friend Tammy, Creative Country Girl. This is a whip of mine, or a finish of mine, Buddy the Elf by Good Morning Maui, and she made it into a project bag for me. I love it. Makes me happy. So now I get to look at it every month. All right, let's see. My next start. Now this is so fun because I have wanted to start this since market last year. This is one of the animal crackers. This is Bobbin. He's so cute. Okay, so he definitely made it on my WIP Go Small Start board. So this was a January WIP Go Small. And to be honest with you, the goal is to get the small stitched within the month, right? I didn't get it done, but I'm gonna get them done this month because I already have a lot. You know, I haven't worked on him that many days. I'm stitching him on the called for fabric, which is a 36 count suede by Needle Bling Designs. I'm using all the called for fancy floss. Yep. And I'm loving it. He is living in this. I love this. It's like a small size portfolio or keeper or whatever by Melissa Sheba Designs with this fantastic Tula Pink Roar fabric. I love dinosaurs. I do. So excited about the new Jurassic Park movie coming out. Anyway, so yeah, isn't this cute? This is so cute. I love this. Love this. Also, I did something. My friend Jordan, Tattooed Stitcher, she stitches on hoops, and she likes these Hardwick Manor hoops. Now I bought a few different kinds. Let me see. This one is a Nurge number 5. But, so I used a hoop for the first time with that, and also this one. And when I was doing all my organizing, my husband was out of town, I wrapped all of my inner hoops with the twill tape like she said to do. I like this. I like this size. This is a Hardwick Manor one. I don't know darn what size that is, but significant, right? But I like this size too. And this is very light, and just fun. You know, I like the Nurge hoops too, but they're just really rough on the fabric, I feel. So, anyway, cute, right? I love it. I love it. So hopefully Bobbin will be done before you know it, because he's on my WIPGO board from January. All right, another start. Well, I guess this is going to be my last start. So remember those big 4 things I told you? Sleigh Ride, Stitch Along, Queen of Peace, Water Garden Stitch Along, and Rhodes' Christmas Stocking. Okay, so I just got the Water Garden Stitch Along started. Here we are. This is the Chatelaine. I'll put the picture up here. Chatelaine Water Garden Stitch Along. I think you can probably still join that. If you have any questions, reach out to Maggie or Amy on Instagram. It's kind of fun. We have a whole like Facebook group where we can talk about what we're doing, and we have a Zoom and all of the things. I don't have a lot done. I'm stitching this on a piece of, I think it's 32 count blush by Oak Crown Studios. It is a beautiful neutral, very light with a little hint of pink, which is the definition of blush, right? I like that needle minder I've got on it. That's from Starlight Stitchery out in Oregon. And it's a little difficult. I struggled with this weekend. I just started this weekend. I'm using the PDF version of it, and the PDF version of it has it's a mandala, and it has it in 4ths, right? So this one does not have one full picture, right? So it's kind of, and there's no overlap. So it's kind of nerve-wracking that I'm going to miscount. So I was taking it pretty slow. This floss that I've used for this first part is an MPI silk. Now, it is charted in a mix of MPI silks and DMC. And what else do we have? I think we have what is this? We've got some Rainbow Gallery metallics, and what is this one? Hold on, sorry. Oh, Silken Colors by Thread Gatherer. Okay, so it's charted in a mix of things. If you wanted to use the DMC, you could use it. The numbers were on there, but the blue range, Martina liked the blue range of the MPIs. So I went on and ordered that. I ordered my kit from European Cross Stitch. That's just an easy way to do it, y'all, because she gets all, sometimes it takes months, but she sources all the things and gets it all together. Even though it's called European Cross Stitch, it is located in the United States. And she's really good for kitting up. Oh, she's really good about kitting up chatelaines. Has 2 of these water lilies too. Aren't they beautiful? Yes, they are. Spruce and Distant Hills. Love those. Love those. They also come with a ton of beautiful beads, and she sources those for you too. They're not always easy to get the right size, the right color. She knows what you sub for what. It's really a no-brainer to me to just not try to take that on myself and let them at European Cross Stitch handle that. So I'm excited. I love all the materials. I'm excited to be working on. I think I was having a little bit of an anxiety about it, like starting it, and it's not, I don't know, just the counting. It's living in this beautiful bag. It was one of my bag of the months from last year from GaRon Toten Bags. I think this is a fantastic bag. It just looks like something straight out of a fairy tale, don't you think? Perfect for the water garden. So this is supposed to be one of my focuses every week, and I think it was supposed to be my focus for this week. See how that's going. It's going, but I'll get on track at some point. I have good intentions, right? Okay, so those were all of my starts. Well, let's talk about my other WIPs that I have that I worked on. Okay, got my Mimi cup on board today. All right, this is the one I was telling you about. This is one of my, this is basically one of my oldest WIPs. This is my 30 minutes in the morning whip. Snowy Christmas Quaker Style by RETM. RETM is one of my favorite designers. I'm stitching this on the called for, which is either a 32 or 28 count Picture This Plus dwarf. And here's where we are. So I have gotten a bunch more done even since the whip parade. Yep. This is my little needle minder by Rebel Stitcher Designs. I love that little snow person. So good. All right. I love it. So much, so much. Now, let me just tell you about what's going on with this. This is a problem child. So when I first kitted this up and started stitching it, I was a new stitcher. And instead of, she called for a fancy floss for the white. I would say if you're a new stitcher, or I mean, you can take this now, but if you don't know how many skeins to purchase, and I didn't know I was doing anything that was going to cause me a problem, probably just stick with DMC, because DMC dye lots are usually a lot more consistent than the fancy floss. So I started off with chalk. That's what's called for. When I knew I was getting low on chalk, I went to my LNS to get more chalk, and it was significantly different color than this white. And you're like, really? Yes, really. It was a very blue white, that particular lot. Okay. So what I've been doing, and I hope you can't see where I started doing this. This is what I hope this works out, is I've been taking a strand of my chalk and then my new white, which is Snowball by Classic Colorworks, since I needed 2 strands anyway. I've been blending them, okay, until my chalk is gone. And then I will be straight on to Snowball. So I'm hoping it's more of a gradual transition from chalk to a chalk snowball blend to a snowball. I'm hoping that helps. Fingers crossed. Because I don't really have a whole lot left. Like, I'm down in the bottom of this snowflake working. So I pretty much got the rest of this Quaker snowflake, this reindeer, this one, and this one. So yeah, 30 minutes in the morning. If I could stay consistent on that, maybe it'll be done by March. Yeah. One of my older whips. So fun. So fun. All right. Let's see. My next whip. Oh, this was a new start. Sorry, I missed that. This was a new start. So, the Jingle Ball happened in December. I was in Florida on my trip, but I made sure I had a ticket because I knew I wanted to do some shopping. I knew I wanted to get the ornament book. So, that's a whole nother thing. I'll tell you about that at all. But I also looked at the classes prior to the Jingle Ball, and I signed up for 2 classes. I signed up for Liz Matthews class, mainly because I liked her pattern. It was a star, but I was very intrigued about the beaded border around the star. It's very pretty. It's beads and their little loops, and I wanted to learn how to do that. So I signed up for that class. I did not buy the kit. I bought like the PDF. And then the Stacy Nash gingerbread needle book. The kits were sold out by the time I decided I wanted to make sure I got the chart, but I was able to purchase the PDF and get the class. So I'm going to put a picture of that chart up here because I don't have it printed out because it is a PDF. And this is where I'm at on it. Yeah, I'm stitching this. What am I stitching this on? I think it's a piece of 36 count, if I remember correctly. I don't remember what it is. I'll put it down there if you really want to know, but I'll put it down there. I can't remember what in the world I'm stitching it on. 36 count something. I think it's something by Fox and Rabbit, if you want to know the truth. And when I was stitching it, I used Call for Fancy Floss with the exception of this white. It called for, like, I think the color was linen, and it just wasn't showing up against this fabric. So then I switched to just regular like DMC Blanc, and it really wasn't showing up against this fabric. So I was like, you know what? I pulled that floche out from my sleigh ride, and I'm stitching it with the floche, and it shows up. So I like it. I don't know why I still have it in the Q-snap, because I don't anticipate working on it regularly at this time. As much as I love it, but I don't. So I'll probably be taking that out of the Q-snap in a minute. I did go on an order, since I didn't get the kit with all the finishing supplies. I did look up where to get this beautiful wool from because it's perfect for this chart, and it's just one of the things that I really wanted to have to finish it when the time comes. Blackberry Primitives is where I got this from, and I'm going to be splitting it with my friend Zan because she has the PDF too, and this is the smallest you could buy the wool in, so I don't need all that. It's living in my super cute Jasmine's custom bags. Frosty the Snowman. But I think I'm going to leave it out because I think I am going to take it out of the Q-Snap. I feel like I've got enough going on where I'm not going to be able to get back to this right away. Okay, another WIP from this month is an oldie but a goodie. Halloween at Hawk Run Hollow by Carriage House Samplings. Yay! I did a Zoom with my sweet friends. We had a nice catch up. You know, another one of my New Year resolutions was to be more consistent with our Zooms. So far, so good for January, and I've got February scheduled, so doing good with that. I am still on this middle block, y'all. I'm still there. I really want to finish this middle block this year. Hopefully working on it during Zoom days, and like the 13th and 31st, we'll get it done. Here's where I am. Stitching this on a piece of 32 count Heather by Picture This Plus. Yep. And I'm going to get you in close on this witch and let you see what I got done. I don't know why. I keep forgetting I have this board. Let me try to use this board. I don't know. People like have this all set up ahead of time, don't they? And I'm just like doing it on the fly here, but let me see if it makes it any easier. I keep forgetting I have the darn thing. Well. Okay. There you go. So at least I can hold it here while we talk about it. All right, this is that middle block. So since the last time you've seen it, I'm pretty sure I did a whole bunch of work down here in this skirt. Yep. And I don't have, for some reason I'm missing this color for her skin. I don't know if I stole it for something else. So she's missing her right hand right now, but I'll get that filled in pretty soon. But yeah. So not a ton left to do in this block. It looks like I have a moon and a pumpkin and what else? An owl. Yeah. Then maybe I'll get to move on. That would be nice. I do love the stitching on this though. I do. It would be fun to make some good progress on this year because last year I made like nothing on it. Okay, another one. This one I really wanted to get finished. This was my year, #year of the Dragon Sal, that was hosted by Samantha the Huga Stitcher and Erica Floss. Oh my gosh. Floss and Fibers Canada. Sorry, Erica. And my choice was this Antique Celtic Sampler by Elizabeth Needleworks. I love this one. I still love this one. I did stitch on it a little bit. I had this brief moment of hope when Mary mentioned that the Year of the Dragon didn't really end until January 28th. And like the week before, I was like, if I just buckle down, I can get that done. But I didn't buckle down and I didn't get it done. But I did a little stitching on it. I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count Old Lawn by Manny Dodonna. I love this needle minder, this dragon needle minder. I found it on Etsy last year or the year before by the Stitching Gnome. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. It lives in this fantastic bag made for me by my sister-in-law, Rivertown Designs US. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, this one did not get done in the Year of the Dragon, but it did get started with big progress on it. So, I'll take that. All right. My Leap Day, Leap Year Stitch Along, hosted by Melanie Rowe. Find Melanie Rowe on Instagram too. I'm doing Shakespeare's Fairies by Mirabilia. MD, what does that even say? This is terrible. MD 103 is what this is. This is not an out of print chart. That's one of my favorite Rebel Stitcher needle minders right there. So good. But I love this one. This is one of the charts that I fell in love with first time I saw it. And I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count Stardust fabrics by Stephanie. Stephanie's fabrics are amongst my favorite for putting mirabilias on. because look at that. You see the beautiful colors, and they're just all so nicely blended together and just fantastic. So I didn't get a ton done, but I did make a little progress. Actually, the colors are very similar to the fabric, which won't be a problem when I have the other stitching around it. It's in a dress, but you can see all around that lantern I got some stitching in. Lots of counting. So far, so good though. So this one will come out near the end of February. Hopefully I'll get a day or so of work on it. And I don't know that that would actually necessarily catch me up for missing a whole year of work on it, but it'll get me in a better spot. This is an awesome Game of Thrones bag that I got. Lynn X Stitches Creates made this one. See? Really good. All right. And it looks like the last cross stitch that I worked on was from on Monday, was my Mermaid of the Pearls by Mirabilia. She is an out of print. She's one of the most heavily beaded mermaids. Stitching her on a piece of 32 count Kelpie, I believe, by Under the Sea Fabrics. There she is. Oh yeah. So this past Monday, I worked all in this little crook of her arm and in her hand. So just used a bunch of skin tones this past Monday. So nothing like dramatically obvious of progress, but I did make some. And I'm happy to have gotten the time in to work on her. For sure. So she's going to stay on the Q-snap because she should be worked on again on Monday. All right, so let's see. Let me show you, since there was one of the focus things that I have not started yet. So let me show you what Rhodes' stocking is going to be. I have all of my floss for him. A lot of the similar colors from Brooks' stocking, and a lot of similar symbols. There are some symbols different, so I am in the process of compiling things and getting my thread correct. But I am doing another one of these. I think I might have chosen the hardest, the hardest one to start with. Maybe one of the harder ones. Because Rhodes, and I might kick myself for saying this, looks a little bit less stitch heavy than Brooks's did. But I'm going to be doing the holiday workshop stocking for Rhodes. This is the one I'm going to be doing. The little Ozark down here at the bottom. And that fun little hanging Santa Claus right there. There's a little bit more open areas, I feel like, in this one than in Brooks's. But yeah. So, stitching it again on a 25, it's not started yet, y'all, but it will be stitched again on a piece of 25 count Mushroom Lugana. And it's just like the last one, three strands of floss, but man, you get some good coverage, I'm gonna tell you what, but it is a pain to deal with, for sure. So, that should be getting started this month. 1 month behind, right? All right. Some other plans for this coming month is what's on my WIPGO board. So the other thing from last month that did not get started is this Arranging Microbes by Ink Circles. I have all the floss, and I'm just going to grab a neutral fabric, and it's cute. It's 87 by 87. Wash your hands. Yeah, nasty stuff going around out there. A lot of people are so sick. I hope y'all are not. The other small that I'm going to be starting this month, or is my pull this month, is Rascals by Pedal Pusher. I think it's super cute. I have the board to finish it on. I need to paint the board. And this is a Lady Dot Rick Rack. I don't think I have that color, so I need to see if she has that color. It's charted in DMC, and I'm just going to find a nice neutral to put it on. But it's cute. I hope this one doesn't take me too long, because it's really cute. So those will be the other smalls that will be popped up to be worked on this month. All right. There is one other that I'm probably going to start because I'm feeling a little bit, like I said, a little bit of like, you have to get XYZ done. Then I get a little rebellious and I just want to not do it. Anyway, I've had this pulled to try to start since last year. And I really love this kit. This is a Riolis kit. And yeah, it's with that acrylic wool blend thread that I didn't love when I was making the watermelon, but now that I've done needlepoint, I'm easier to work with this. You just really have to use a threader, and the coverage is good. And I think this is a pretty picture. So I just remembered I had another finish that I forgot to tell you all about. So this might get started. I did finish this and I sent it off to my aunt. This was a little Riolis kit. Isn't it cute? It's on my Instagram. I'll put a picture of him finished up here. And I added a little bead with a bee on it because this is Bob, my aunt and uncle's dog. He is actually, he was wood, and it came with the floss, and it came with like a magnet with a sticky back. And so once you stitched it, you just put the magnet on the back and it was a fridge magnet. I didn't really enjoy stitching on that wood. Like, it doesn't give it all. It's wood, right? So if you banged it with your needle on the side or needed to kind of go like this, like, it's not flexible. So it was kind of hard on my hands too. So I don't know if I would necessarily gravitate towards another little wooden kit. I mean, I guess if I really wanted it enough and I really want to stitch it enough, I would, but I'd have to really want to stitch it to do that, a little wooden kit like that again. Okay, so let's talk about, oh, this is exciting. So today was kind of interesting because I had some really good mail come in last night. One of the things I had come in was the Just Cross Stitch Spring. Okay, and I know sometimes they're really great. Sometimes they're not as great. Okay, so I was excited to look in this one because I know my friend Leanne had a chart in here. Somebody stitched, had a chart in here that somebody else designed on her fabric. So I wanted to see what the fabric was. But also, flipping through here, I found the most beautiful pattern. Wow. It's called Nature's Journey. It's their stitch along and it's by Sprouting Lupine. And I have wanted to stitch a Sprouting Lupine chart since last year. Look at this. So spring is what's out now. I mean, I love this. It's beautiful. It's charted in DMC. I think I counted it's like 37 DMCs. The called for is In the Veil by Be Stitch Me, which I don't have, but I surely have something that'll work once I pull the DMC. So I'm going to start it. Zan's going to start it. Leanne's going to start it. We're going to start it. We have no business, but like, why not? I don't know. It's just a little chunk. I don't know where I'm going to get all these hours in the day from, but look at that, y'all. It's gorgeous. I'm super excited about this. I mean, like, so that was so neat. And then it's so strange, but I'm flipping through this and I see the cutest little bird. And this bird is so cute, right? I mean, I love this style with this back stitch. I don't even mind stitching it. So the funny thing is that someone posted last night a picture of another cute little bird, and it's by X Free Stitch from Etsy. Her name's Svetlana, and I was like, what? So last night I went and looked at all of her stuff on Etsy and put a bunch of stuff in my cart, and then I get the magazine and there's that cute little bird. Which, speaking of stuff in my cart, there is one more thing I would love to start this month, and it would be appropriate because it's Valentine's Day, but I got this one last year, and this one is he's just called Ermin, but do you see him? How cute is he? Oh boy, he's so cute. She has a bunch of them. Her name's Svetlana too. It's just spelled different. This is the Etsy store where you can find that little Ermin and all of his friends. Look there. Wow. So cute. So cute. So I'm excited about that. So now I have another stitch along. That one shouldn't take very long, huh? So cute though. This one is beautiful. I am super excited about this spring one. Spring fever already, right? It's Nature's Journey. So from spring's first blooms to winter's quiet snowfall, every stitch marks a journey through time and the magic of the natural world. Oh, I love this. I am excited about this. Brownie and Lupin. They have a lot of really good designs, and I was wanting to stitch one, so there's that. All right, let's see. What else am I going to talk about? Let's do the giveaway, and then I will do haul, and then I will show my needlepoint and my sewing. Okay? All right. So, giveaway. All right. And I got a bunch of nice happy mail too. Stitchy kindness, whatever you want to call it. So let me show you. Sorry, I kind of boxed myself in here. All right. Where's my giveaway at? So I was gifted this by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Caterpillar Cross Stitch. A box. Sally. She's so nice. It says it's a club box, okay? Let's open it up again. It's so pretty. So pink. Comes with all the things. There is a cookie in there. It's kind of broken up now. I probably won't send the cookie, guys, because yeah, it's expired. It expired 12/30, so I'm not going to send the cookie, but I'll send everything else. Okay, look, it comes with some little these things to hold your fabric really good, a little easel, a list, and this super cute kit. Home and Heart cross stitch kit. Home is where the heart lives. Okay, if you haven't ever done any Caterpillar cross stitch before, they are so nice. Do you see how it comes all kitted up? It's fantastic. Here's the thing. I feel like this is super happy and springy, and you might need a little cheer up from the winter blues right now, and I just don't know when I'm going to get to it, and I feel kind of bad holding on to it, especially because it was a gift. So I would like to share this with one of you all. If you'll just use the word home in a sentence, if you're interested in me sending you this little kit. I appreciate Sally's generosity so much. And if you do stitch on it, would you please make sure, if you're on social media, tag me and Caterpillar Cross Stitch in it. And I just don't feel very comfortable sitting on it when it was gifted to me and not doing anything with it. And I know she wants to get her happiness out in the stitchy world. So yeah, I want to give this whole little set to one of you all. So use the word home. Please be 18 or older so I can really send it to you. Please don't use any of those words that attract trolls, like giveaway or free or win or prize or anything like that. I would appreciate it if, I'm sorry right now, well, I don't know what all of the requirements are as far as shipping this overseas. Just put in your name, and if you win and you're overseas, I'll just figure it out. She shipped it to me overseas, so I can ship it internationally too. And yeah, so this is such a super cute kit. So just put home in there. I really appreciate Sally's generosity, but like I said, I just don't feel comfortable holding on to it, and I just want to let somebody else out there stitch this. So, and I'll do a drawing before my next floss tube, which I hope to do before the beginning of March. So just a couple weeks away, because March is market. And before I go to market, I'd like to do another floss tube and let you know if you won that or not. So home if you want to win that kit. So cute. Oh, I guess you might want to know. Sorry, let me double check and see what the fabric is. I mean, it might turn you off of it or not. Let's see. I don't know if you're, let's see. You could always put on whatever fabric you wanted to put it on. It comes with Ada. So, no, maybe it doesn't. Printed color chart, DMC, sand is Zweigart. So it's either a 14 or a 16 count Ada. Yeah. And it's such a cute, happy chart. Get rid of those winter blues, right? Take care of that mental health. All right, so home. All of the regular rules. Okay, y'all, I cannot believe I almost forgot to talk about my 3 new Mississippi cousins that came up to visit here in Memphis to our LNS the other weekend. Laura, Kelly, and Candy. We had such a fun afternoon stitching and went to lunch, had some good barbecue, and I just want to say y'all are welcome back anytime. If anybody is coming through town and wants to stop by Stitchers and do some stitching with me, just holler at me, and I would love to have you. All right, let's talk about some stitchy kindness that I received. Wow. Okay, where to start? Let's just start back with Christmas. So Christmas and my birthday, my sweet friend Bernadette sent me a really nice little gift bag with some goodies. I'll make sure I got everything here. All right, yep. So I can't remember which one is for which, but one of these she picked up for me for my birthday. Beautiful portfolio. I love this, or keeper, whatever you like to call it, with the pockets. It's such a nice weight. I think she got it at Stitch West. It doesn't have the maker's name on it though, darn it. And then this one is so cute too. Look at that one. And this one might be my Melissa from Sheba Designs, because it's got a little maple leaf. No, she usually puts her tag on it, so I guess not. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. So one was for my birthday and one was for Christmas. They're so good. She sent this really nice little set of Trader Joe's hand creams, which my hands are so dry right now. I don't know about y'all's, but I'm going through lotion like crazy. And then this adorable little winter kit from Kohana with the little snips and the magnetic little needle holder and everything. Oh my gosh, this little basket. Bernadette, she just spoils me. She's so sweet. I love her. Burn stitches. Okay, so that was a sweet birthday, Christmas and birthday present from Bernadette. And then for Christmas, my daughter bought me a couple of cross stitch kits, Dimensions. One was one that was in my wish list from Amazon, Woodland Enchantress Gold Collection. I've been enjoying watching Andrew, the runner stitcher, work on this, and I actually did have the pleasure of seeing this one finished and framed in person at the Stitch New England Retreat in 2023. So this is a gorgeous piece. It's gorgeous. I love a Dimensions Gold kit. And then she picked out this one called Maggie the Messmaker. It's got this cat on it on the middle of your stitchy room. So cute. So cute. Got those for Christmas. My friend Jordan sent me a sweet Christmas card and a bag with my name on it. Nice, big, huge bag. I know she gifted Bernadette a purple one. They're going to the Plum Street Samplers Retreat. We're not going to be able to go to the same retreats this year, unfortunately, but I love this bag. It's great. It's going to hold so much stuff. Thank you so much, Jordan, for thinking about me. That was a really nice Christmas present. It was really fun to get in the mail. And then, let's see. I gifted myself something for my birthday. Like going to Disney World wasn't enough, right? Well, I couldn't resist this. Okay, so I was up in Wisconsin at my mom's. My mom lives in Beloit, Wisconsin. That's in southern Wisconsin. And my mom is involved with the art museum there. And so we went for a class. It was before Christmas. And we painted these cool Christmas trees with, and we like poured this, like we didn't paint them. It was like we used glass and we put designs and beads and stuff in there. And then we poured resin all over the top of it. It was really cool. But anyway, they have a really nice store in their art museum. And so lo and behold, what did I see sitting over there? A beautiful handmade shaker box, right? Like fantastic. Fantastic. Perfect size to sit by my stitchy chair, right? All the trays lift out, and I can keep them or not. All right, so the guy who makes these, he is a shaker woodworker. His name is David Conowall. Let me see, can you see that? I will put it in the description box below. This is made of cherry and ash. I did try to find him on the internet. So he has a LinkedIn with a phone number and email and everything. I know he makes these regularly. I just don't know where he sells them. If you really wanted one, it was very fairly priced. okay, so just the box itself was $65, but with the 2 trays, it was $105. Okay, so for a handmade shaker box, that's a really good price. And so I gifted myself that for my birthday. I would love to stitch something and put on the top of this. Not permanently, of course. I would do like a magnet situation. So I would attach the magnets to my stitch piece and then put a strong magnet underneath here, and hopefully that would hold it. But I just need something this good size, and I haven't decided anything yet or picked anything out to try to put on there yet, but that's the idea. I love it. Love it. All right. And then some other happy mail. I just got this in the mail yesterday. So for the people that watched my, my Stitch Sweater Weather retreat, I had a little giveaway. And so this is one of the recipients of the giveaway, and her name is Norma. And she sent the sweetest card, and like a little thank you for me sending her the giveaway stuff. So she sent some really sweet, like some shepherd's bush charts and a drawn thread, and I love this Hummel kit. And said that I could do, if I wanted to give them away or stitch them or whatever. Some of them I think I probably will give away. I really like these Hummels, so I might hold on to this Hummel. But yeah, they're fun. When you all send me things to give away, sometimes I give them away on YouTube, and then sometimes I also take them to the freebie tables at the retreats, and just add to that joy, you know, because lots of people there to pick through and find their treasure, and this might be their treasure, you know. So yeah, got my little, and sometimes, or we have our like 901 Stitch Together group that we stitch together, and sometimes I take them up there. I have in the past. So thank you for the stash, sharing that, Norma. And you didn't need to do that, but I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy your Forbidden Fiber Co. floss. All right, just a few more things. So haul. I've behaved myself. Can you believe that? Only a few things here, y'all. And I haven't seen you very much since November. So I've got some bags of the month to show you. These are all my GaRon Stitchery bags of the month. So this was my November bag. I love it. I love it. I love it. They had this bag of the month, very reasonably priced. It's like 20 bucks for this size bag. There's a bigger bag. I don't know how much the bigger bag is. All right. And my December bag, beautiful poinsettias. And isn't that pretty? And because my birthday is in December, when it's your birthday, Ronnie and Gary gift you a free mini bag. So my birthday month, I get a free mini bag. I'm really partial to this one. This is a January bag. I love this snowman. Isn't that beautiful? I love winter scenes, though. They make me so happy. Speaking of which, I bought this picture. Okay, let me just, as a tangent, right? I'm going to put a picture up of it here. It's not going to do it justice. I was at the framer the other day taking some stuff, and I look up, and they have a bunch of things framed and just out and about, and I look up, and there's this picture up in the top, very tippy top corner that catches my eye, and it's a big picture. And it's one of those pictures that kind of reminds you of like Thomas Kincaid pictures, where like it just kind of glows from within. And it's a winter scene, as you can tell. Snow, sheep, a guy feeding the sheep, sun's going down. It's beautiful. And so I asked how much it is, and it was a good price. So the guy that works there, oh my gosh, we just had a time getting that thing out of that top corner, but we got it down. I took it home, I brought it home, and it's called a glazed canvas. It's a technique that they use. So it does really look like, if you know a Thomas Kincaid picture, like it really glows. And I brought it in, and my husband was like, what is that? He is not a fan of the picture. My son is not a fan of the picture. My son thinks it's a depressing picture. I, however, love a winter scene, and I found really great comfort in that picture. To me, it's sunset, and to me, that picture signifies he's feeding these sheep. They're going to eat. They're going to go get cozy in their barn in the hay, get warm. He's done for the day. He's going to go inside. They probably have a fireplace. He's going to get warm and cozy, hang out with his wife, read a book, whatever. Like, it's just like that nice winding down, warm, cozy end of the day feeling for me in the winter. And like I said, I love a winter scene. I don't find it depressing at all. So I know that was a complete tangent, but I love scenes like this. And I was just, you know, surprised my husband and my son didn't share my excitement over my acquisition. Okay, and so it's past the 5th. Okay, so our February bag of the month, isn't that pretty? Gosh, do you know what this reminds me of? That movie Fried Green Tomatoes, where when she goes into the nursing home and she has all of those flowers, all beautiful flowers hung up in her nursing home room. It kind of reminds me of that kind of wallpaper. It's pretty. I love it. Okay, so those were my bags of the month. I did get a couple fabrics of the month in. So I've gotten, I think I put the other stuff up. So this would be very recent fabric of the month. This is my January. This is Glacier by Oak Crown Studios. I get a 32 count Lugana in Glacier. It's really pretty. Like, it's a Lugana, so I mean, I think you're probably if you are familiar with Lugana, you know that the modeling is not that harsh or dramatic. It's just something the camera does to the saturation. It's much more light blue. And then I got my Fabrics by Stephanie in the mail. I think I got it yesterday, the day before. 32 count Friendship Green. I do have a piece of this or two, and I do really like this color. So I wonder if that would be good for that Sprouting Lupine Sal. I'll have to do a floss toss against it and check that out. And then a beautiful Arctic Fox by Fox and Rabbit. That's in a 40 count. That's darker than it's showing up. It's getting blown out. It's way far away, but yeah. So those were all my things of the month. So basically, the only thing I've purchased outside of my fabric of the month and bag of the month stuff is the new Mirabilia Mary. I adore her. Okay, she's gonna skip the line, guys. She's gonna skip the line. She's gonna get started this year. I think she is so pretty, so pretty. So she came in, Mary, with her embellishment pack. I got her from my mirror dealer, Mindy Daigle, on Facebook, Daigle. I'll put her name in the description box below. She's great. She has all of the things. She shared some pictures with us of the snow, because she lives down in Louisiana, and she got that crazy snowstorm. Look at those pretty water lilies. Bittersweet and Budding Leaf. And then I got some of the new, got some Krynic, and it came on the new cards. So they're definitely switching from the cards, which we know, from spools to cards. Here's the new. That's my first carded Krynic I've gotten in. So yeah, that was all of my haul. I love her. She's fantastic. Fantastic. So plans, you know, basically we've already talked about what I've got going on as far as Stitchy. I've got my 4 main focus pieces to work on with some zooms thrown in. My little things are the Rascals and Wash Your Hands. And I'd like to finish bobbin when I get done here today. Maybe after I get some editing done, I'm going to work on some more FFOing. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, y'all, as far as cross stitch goes. Just follow me for any updates on that on my Instagram. If you have any questions about any of the cross stitch, just leave me a message down on the bottom. I'll be happy to answer it, or you can message me on Instagram. But yeah, so next up, needlepoint. So I had to finish. Remember, I was stitching a piece for my grandson, an ornament. I was stitching Rainbow Fish. Because his favorite book is Merry Christmas, Rainbow Fish. Yeah, so that's how Rainbow Fish turned out. Pretty good. Let's see. So, it came kitted with all of these essentials, which these are half silk, half merino blend. I liked working with them. I thought the colors were great. I liked them being on the cards. They were a good price point, so I enjoyed working with them. It came with fireworks that I used for some of the shiny scales. Now, the difference what I made a change with was I was not happy with the outline of the fish. So I think like they sent black of the essentials for me to outline him. And it was to me, it was too harsh. And I couldn't, the thread wasn't really working for the stitch I wanted to use. So I ended up reaching out to a Facebook group, and somebody suggested using a stem stitch, I think is what I ended up doing. And I ended up choosing a Splendor, which is a strandable silk in like a very dark navy blue for the outline. And I really like how it turned out. I did add some beads from Stash for those bubbles, and a couple little beads from Stash for his eyes, or his eye, sorry. So this is on a little foam pad with these pins because I'm blocking it right now because I need to FFO it. When I was done with it, the shape was kind of weird. And I was afraid if I were to use one of the rounds to guide me that I purchased, one of the clear acrylic rounds, that no, the size wasn't good enough. So I added a couple rows. So I actually traced the circle from the acrylic piece that I have, and I added a couple rows around the edges just to fill in. And it's going to be pulled over the edges, so you're not going to see that, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't have any white at the edge. This was a little bit challenging for me to stitch. This is my third one I've started, and it's really my first one I've completely finished. I do not believe it was stitch painted. It was just painted, right? Which is beautiful, and I love the design, but I had a lot more freedom as far as choosing what color went where to blend into for that water around the rainbow fish. And although I like that, I didn't like it, you know, because it turned out really pretty, but I was having to make some decisions, and sometimes I don't feel like making decisions. But anyway, I think he turned out very handsome. I have some options set aside to use backing fabric for him with, and I'm going to make some custom cording and try to FFO this guy on my own. I have a charm for the year 2024, and I actually know how to do hand embroidery. So I'm going to embroider my grandson's name and the year on the back of my fabric before I FFO it. Yeah. Or at least his initials in the year. But yeah, there's my rainbow fish. So cute. So cute. As far as needlepoint goes, I really haven't been working on anything else in particular. I've been doing a lot of cross stitch. I did have a needlepoint score the other day. I went to my friend Zan, Crazy Band Lady Stitches. She has a couple of vintage booths in like antique malls, and she had a vintage needlepoint bag in her one of her booths that I scooped up. So how fun is that? Actually, y'all, I think it's stitched on plastic is what it feels like, but I thought that was a cute little winter bag, vintage. You know, yeah, I had a fun day. Zan's, from where I am in Memphis, her booth is out in Covington. That's like an hour away from here, but it's really close to where it's right up the street from where Leanne's shop is. So I took an afternoon and I went up there and I went and visited Leanne to her shop and saw what she was getting ready for market with, and then went over there and checked out Zan's booth. So that is all for my needlepoint. I need to finish. I have like the Disney one from the Halloween. I need to get a different thread, I think, for my background. I ripped all the thread out, all the basket weave out that I had put in, because it was like a petite silk lame on the 18 count, and it was a really light silvery color, and it was almost, I could see too much of the canvas through it, and I didn't like it. So I think I'm going to go for something bigger and maybe like a simple decorative stitch, so it doesn't take me as long to do. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. That will be my next hurdle to cover with that. Sewing. So I just did this little hand sewing project the other night. My word of the year for 2024 is believe. And so if you've heard of Under the Wool and Willow, they do these word of the year skinny pillows. So I ordered this kit. You can find them on Etsy. I guess I've ordered a 2024 kit because I got a 2024 charm and the little card that came with it has 2024 on it. So I'm not using that. I've got some 2025 charms on the way. I'm sure I'll use them for something anyway throughout the year. Maybe not all of them, but they come with a nice little pin in their chart. And you know, I ordered the kit, and so I had to like trace the word on there myself, and it's wonky. I stuffed it. It's kind of like, I don't know. I didn't cut it like it was pre-cut, but I guess my stitching was just kind of wonky and not, but there you go. Believe, and I'll put the year on there. And it's just for me. So it's okay if it's kind of wonky and not, like I said, I just hand stitched it. I guess if I would have machine stitched it, it would be like much more of a better shape, but it does the job. It reminds me what my word of the year is, believe. So anyway, I think that was all the sewing stuff that I have. I am going to attempt to do some FFOs, like I said, and I think I have to get my sewing machine out. So that always causes a little bit of anxiety because we're getting to be friends, but we're not like super tight friends yet or anything. So that's always a little bit of something. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything, y'all. I mean, market's coming up, so if you're still sticking around, you know, market's coming up. I'm enjoying seeing all the things that are coming out for market. I think my favorite release, one of the ones that's just stuck in my head, is the birdie basket by the birdie bowl by the Blue Flower with all those little birds on it. I really want to stitch that. I think that would be so fun to stitch those birds. What, have you all seen anything? What's your favorite thing that's been released? I mean, they're just starting to come out now. We've got till next month, but yeah, needlework market buzz is happening. So I think that's everything for now. I'll be back to see you before I head up to market with Leanne and Zan. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day or night, whichever it may be. Enjoy your stitching. Take care. Be good to yourself. And I'll see you soon. Thanks.